Hey everyone, it's Hailey, and today I'm going to be doing a very different video that I feel like I have filmed before, and I mean, this is like my third time trying to film it, but what I mean by that is I feel like it's one that after having my channel for 4 years, I would have already done, but apparently I haven't done it, and by apparently I mean I definitely haven't done it. So obviously you guys know from the title what I'm going to be talking about today, and I'm going to be talking about my struggles with mental illness, both past and present. And this is a video that makes me really uncomfortable to film, so I'm gonna warn you now, when I'm uncomfortable, I don't make eye contact, which I'm doing right now, even though it's literally a camera. I'm not making eye contact with anyone, and I also smile when I'm talking about uncomfortable things. I'm just one of those people who laughs when I'm uncomfortable because I don't know what else to do. So I apologize about that. I promise you this isn't funny to me. I don't know what to do with my face. So that's what happens. But I debated about filming this video for a number of reasons, but I think that it is something that I need to do. And the reason that I'm doing it, even though it's going to make me uncomfortable, is because I think it needs to be out there. I feel like you guys as viewers are like my friends, and it's weird to me that you guys wouldn't know about this part of my life, since it is something that has definitely shaped who I am as a person. I have alluded to this in the past, but I've never actually addressed it head on in a video, so that's what I'm forcing myself to do today. After some encouragement from friends, I feel like this is what I need to do. I think I'm just adding to the stigma by not talking about it, so here I am talking about it. So obviously from the title you can tell that I'm going to be talking about some things that might trigger you, so if you're worried about triggers, I'm going to have them in the description down below, as well as some resources for you to check out. But the main things I'm going to be talking about are depression and anxiety. There are some other things I'm going to be talking about but not getting too in depth into, and I just don't really want to say them out loud, so I will have them in the description box for you guys. So just don't watch this if you're not in the headspace to watch it. I wouldn't want anyone to be triggered by anything that I'm saying. I'm not going to be going in depth into anything, so just be aware that if this is triggering to you, you can exit the video 100%, not offended ever. Just don't watch it. So I guess I'll start with the beginning. I have probably had struggles with mental health my entire life, and I've just never really had an easy time. Making friends and everything was always really hard for me. I'm a very intense person. My personality is very brash, and I totally understand why people aren't always compelled to get to know more about me, but depression is something that runs in my family, and it's something that I have been aware of since I was really young because of some events that occurred in my life, and they majorly shaped who I became as a person, and everything kind of came to a head when I was 16 years old. Started getting really bad when I was 15 and basically all throughout high school, but when I was 16, I became very suicidal. I had something terrible happen to me that I really don't want to talk about that much, but basically what I'm going to say is one of the times that I considered posting this video, because there have been many times before where I've considered doing it, but I think I needed to do it when I kind of have some distance from the issues, but one of the times that I considered doing it was at the height of the Me Too movement. So that's all I'm going to say about that, and please don't ask me anything more. But basically all that I want you to know is that the fallout from that trauma led me to be suicidal. It led me to self-harm and do some things that I'm not really proud of, but I was struggling deeply. I was hospitalized once in a hospital that was specifically for youth who are struggling with mental health issues, and then once in the adult psychiatric ward. And this all went on over the course of a few months, but my life was entirely consumed by my mental health issues. It was just, I couldn't think of anything else other than the fact that I was depressed and the fact that I didn't want to be on earth anymore. But I eventually came to a point where I realized that I needed to start caring. I was on medication, I was going in and out of therapy, and nothing was working because I wasn't putting in the work at all. I didn't want to get better. I just had no interest in it, and a big reason for that, I think, is because I didn't really have any friends to encourage me to care, and I had a support system in my family and everything, but I just didn't listen to them, and I was seeking out like-minded people who were going to reaffirm what I was believing about myself, and I luckily was able to, with a lot of hard work and just taking medication and actually working on myself and trying to get better, I was able to get out of it. Unfortunately, one of my friends from that time actually ended up committing suicide a couple of years ago, and that's really difficult for me to comprehend because it's just strange to me that I got out of it and he never did, and that was a really difficult thing for me to go through. But I am forever grateful for the support system that I did have and for the fact that I was able to make myself better and actually want to live and find a zeal for life again. Now, one of the things that got me through it was reading. That was when I discovered my love of reading, was when I was in the hospital. I didn't have anything else to do, wasn't allowed to have my phone or anything like that, so there wasn't really a lot to occupy my time, so I found myself just constantly reading books, and that was what helped me to get through all of my struggles. So while I was able to largely overcome my struggles with depression, what I struggle with now majorly is anxiety. I have a really hard time turning my brain off, like many other people with anxiety. I find it's a really hard thing to describe to people who don't know what it is or haven't experienced it before, but I basically just think of the worst, absolute worst case scenario that's not even possible for things, and that is what consumes my brain. And I live life inside of my comfort zone because I'm so terrified of everything that's outside of it. I just can't turn my brain off, and everyday things that are really easy for other people tend to be a little bit more difficult for me because I think about them so much, and I get so frustrated with myself because of that. So one of the things that I attribute to my anxiety is the fact that I overwork myself so much. I'm basically constantly challenging myself to try and be the absolute best, and I feel like any time that I'm slacking, I'm an absolute failure, which is just the way that my brain works. But it is something that I am trying to work on. I'm trying to work on that and my social anxiety, where social things that are really easy for other people are just so absolutely difficult for me. And it really is a very frustrating thing, and I don't think it will ever not be frustrating for me. But being done with school has been a real help because school just put me through the ringer in terms of my anxiety. That being said, my struggles with anxiety definitely aren't over. My struggles with depression will never be over either. I'll always have these kind of relapses where I struggle again, but I now know that it's okay to ask for help and to get it. It's not being weak or anything like that. And I'm hoping that by doing this video, I will open up other people's eyes to the possibility of asking for help and putting yourself first, because that is such an important thing, and it's something that I need to work on, is putting myself first. But know that you are worth it. No matter if you are feeling like you're not worth it, you are absolutely worth it every second of every day. Put yourself first and choose you, because you are an important human being who belongs on this earth, and you are here for a reason. When I was 16, I didn't even think I would live long enough to be 23, which is just like, that's absolutely crazy. But I honestly didn't. I thought if it wasn't me, it was going to be something else, and one way or another, I would not make it. And if I did, I wasn't going to be successful. But I feel like I have been able to find success. I've done what my dream is. It's so hard for me to comprehend how far I've come, because that past life struggling with depression in particular and being suicidal feels like such a past life. It feels like a completely different person than who I am today, but it's not, because it's shaped a lot of the decisions that I make, and it's shaped the person that I am. But the important thing is that I was able to rise above it, and you can too. Like, it absolutely is possible. Even if you're feeling like it's not, I promise you that it is, and that there are people out there who care and want to help you. I'm going to have resources down below. Don't hesitate to reach out to anyone for help, but don't feel like you're a burden. People want you to be here. People love you and care about you. I love you and I care about you, and I want you to get the help that you need if this is something that you are struggling with. One of the reasons I haven't done this video is because I was afraid of what people would say, but the bottom line is that people are going to comment and people are going to hate on me as much as they want. And I know that apparently recently a lot of people have been hating on me, me, and believe me, I know about it. I just decided to not let that stop me anymore because I know that there's constantly going to be people out there hating. But one thing that I did want to address, I know that I've been getting more hate recently, and that's totally fine. I know that people talk about me on Guru Gossip, which is totally fine. You can talk about me as much as you want. I appreciate that that is your space to talk about me. I've never read it and I will never read it, but I only know about it because people have told me. But I don't mind the fact that people talk about me. That's going to happen. The thing that gets me the most is when you come onto my Instagram and you are commenting on my weight, which has been a major issue recently. As my mental health goes up and down, so does my weight. And I don't know why, but in the past week, I have just been receiving this influx of absolutely horrible comments on my Instagram. And I would just like to ask you to please, if you are one of those people, I know that you're not going to be watching this video, and if you are, you've probably already left a hate comment, but please think about what you're saying and think about the fact that I am a real human behind the camera. You don't know what is going on in my life, and you have no right to comment on my body. I look at myself in the mirror every single day. I know when I've gained weight. Thank you. I don't need you to tell me. I feel comfortable in my body, and that is all that matters. Those comments always come and go, and I never really address them because I know that they're seeking attention, and I don't want to give them the attention that they're asking for. But over the past week, I've woken up most days and there has been a notification on my Instagram for a terrible comment, and that never really used to be something that I would get a lot. So I just wanted to address it because I think it's absolutely disgusting, and I think that you need to please stop bothering me and find something else to amuse your time. Maybe read Dumplin' or read some other book that will show you that it's not okay to be an asshole. But if you are going to continue making those comments, then just make those comments about me. Don't bring my friends into it. Thank you. I'm sorry I went into rant territory there for a second, but I just wanted to tell you guys about this part of my life because, like I said, I feel like you guys are friends of mine, and that sounds so corny, but I feel like it seems so weird to me that I've never talked about this before. And I also feel ready to talk about it now, and I never really have before. I know it's such a past part of my life, but it's still is something that I struggle to talk about because I don't like being serious. I'm not a very serious person, but Twin Travel Novel actually deals with mental health a lot, and it was kind of me fleshing out some things that I've struggled with in the past. So that was such a therapeutic experience for me that I felt like this would be much the same, and I'm just hoping above all else that this might help someone. Like I said, please do not hesitate to ask for the help that you need, and know that you are an absolutely beautiful human being, even if you don't think you are. I think you are, and everyone else does. I promise. So thank you guys for hearing what I have to say. Thank you for being such a shining light in my life all the time. Whenever I'm feeling down, I just read your comments, and it really does bring me up, because for every one bad comment, there's like 1,000 out there that are so nice and just make my day every day. So I do really appreciate that. But I hope that going forward, this will help me to be a little bit more open with you guys, because I feel like I've become kind of guarded at times, and I don't want to be at all. So hopefully this will help, and hopefully it will help you guys. So thank you guys so much for your constant support, and I will see you guys in my next video.